How's it, guys? Welcome to my home studio. My name is Kelly, and on my channel I like to share planner videos, art videos, recipes, DIYs, mixed media, happy meal and hauls, and sometimes I will throw in a lifestyle video. So if any of that sounds appealing to you, I hope you do consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, so without further ado, I have my Hobonichi Day Free A5 size hobo, as it were. And I will quickly go over what I have here. This is a Gansai Tambai watercolor palette. As you can see, fully now. Okay. And then I have a couple of stamp sets from Studio Calico. This is a Jasmine Jones humongous date stamp, as it were. I have my trusty StayzOn Ink in Jet Black. I have a Tombow Brush Pen in number 623. I have my Studio L2E stamp set, and I just put it on this block for convenience, and another Studio Calico stamp set. A pair of scissors, my trusty little spritzer bottle, my electronical eraser, my KuraToga uni, and this is a Hello Kitty one, and it's Kerokerokeroppi, the green little dude. It looks like a frog with humongous cute eyes. Okay, and then I have my Escoda paintbrush, and I picked the number 2. Now, all I've done is I dipped into this gold color here, and I wanted to try something different today, so I am going to flip the script and put the weekly portion at the bottom, where, as you know, this has Japanese writing as well as the lookbook. Okay, I've counted out my spaces of where to cut, so let's get this party started, and let's get this show on the road. I've also laid out my boxes, too. Okay, so, first things first, if you have not seen this video, I have other videos, 2 other videos at this point, showing you a more in-depth view of how I do this, only I do it, usually have my weekly at the top instead of the bottom. Okay? So, here we go. We're cutting. And I have 2 sheets here. That's it. Now, I do lose 2 of the lookbook little portions, which I don't like doing. I like to keep those intact because I like looking at them, but here we go anyway. Okay. Now, I'm going to do my cutting first, so this is going to go. And then I've already given myself a head start, and I've started the cut. And what I did was I measured it out from how I did it at the top, and then I counted 3 rows up from here. Just 3, and that's where my cut line is for the bottom to give me the exact measurement, because I did measure it with my trusty ruler here. And this is a Tim Holtz ruler, Tim Holtz craft mat, and I will be using a Tim Holtz craft heated tool. So it is a count of 3 up, 3 of these little squares up from the bottom, and then you count 9 in, just like we did in the other way. We are just inverting this layout. It's very easy and fun, too. Now, for my other layouts, I do keep this part intact, my lookbook. So I cut it a little bit differently in order to do so. But in this case, there's nothing there. So I don't mind cutting all the way up. But if you would like to keep that part intact, I will show you how to do that. This is 10 rows from the bottom. Or from the top in this case, rather. And there you have that. And then just keep going all the way across. Okay, if you want, you can just cut straight up there, which gives you a lot more room, but we're doing it this way. Okay. And this is also at a seam. Okay, this is at a seam here. So how I do it, when it's at a seam, it's actually easier because you could see the turn point of the book, and you just give it a little snip. Hold both sides taut, and just go for it. Okay, and then I do keep these papers because waste not, want not. Okay. And that's what we have left. Now, like I said, you could have simply just done one cut straight up. And I did not actually keep the flap over here. But anyway, that's okay. So that gives you all of your days. So I'm going to do the same thing down here. And just cut this little bit. And again, as you can see, there's the seam. And I brought this camera down really close so you could see exactly what I'm up to here, as it were. I think that'll let me go. And I'm just holding that in between and cut and pulling it. Sometimes you do have to cut it. So there are these 2 pages, in both intact. And I will keep those scraps like I said. Okay. So it's a little different than what we did before, but we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the weekend, 6, 7. 7 days there, okay? So I did this on purpose right here because I can't read the Japanese, and since that is there, I wanted something that I could write on top of. So you can use an Uni Posca marker and just go right over that. The watercolor, it will write over that, no problem. So we have more room to decorate. So I am going to do something a little bit different here. Again, let me get rid of the scissors. And I want to do my watercoloring first because the brush pens will run through that, if you will. Okay? So I have made this color ready by just spraying it with some water. And I'm just going to try something a little different. You can see really good because you are very close. And I am building a rose. Just as simple as that. Instead of my usual flat wash, which I love doing, I'm just making a rose. And I decided to go with this color. Okay. I'm happy with that shape. I think that looks cute. So I'm just going to go in and make a bunch of roses, and then I'll bring you back and I will show you how I'm going to do the stems. Okay, so I've gone into this green right here, and to make the stem I just go like this. And then I want it to look a little bit differently. So I add a little water to my brush. Okay. And that's all I've done. Very, very easy. And then I take my heated tool and I just dry the surface. I'll bring you right back when I'm done. Okay, so to soften this up and to give it a little bit of dimension, I'm just dipping in to this white paint, and it has a little bit of this purple color here that I used for something else, a different thing, and I does have water in it, and I'm just tapping it off on the side. And then I'm going to come over here to this final rose. These are all done. And just add a touch of color to it. Without disturbing the integrity of the rose. Just like that. And I don't want to do too much or else it will change the rose, because this is watercolor after all. So then I just dry it like that. And I'll bring you back when it's all done. Okay, so we have number 606, and I think that will be more appropriate to do my hand lettering, and I will show you Monday. And I'm going to use this because I have watercolor here, as we just finished doing, as it were. Okay, so this finishes here, so I can just start right here. Just like that. So I'm going to do the rest and then I'll bring you folks back. Okay guys, so next I'm going to go in with my stamp set from Studio L2E for the days of the week. Just like so. So that's my Monday box right there. And then, like I said, you can take any Uni, Posca paint marker, and it will write over this and this. So, there's that. Little disclaimer, as it were. But, yeah, it'll work. So no problem. Now, I could have gone over that with whiteout if I felt like it, but I didn't. So, that is how I did it, and I think it'll be okay. There's my Tuesday. So I'm just going to finish stamping these, and then I'll bring you folks back. Okay, and then I am going to use the Stabilo Fineliner, 0.8 in 88, it says 0.88. Fine, 0.4 in Orchid, and I'm gonna handwrite in my dates. So the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th. Okay, so then one more thing is, instead of using the big date stamp by Jasmine Jones that I showed you at the beginning, since I cut these smaller than what I normally do, I'm going to use this cute little one called Sparco. This is just off of Amazon, and let's see. Okay. And I would like to go on the right side of each one, but I don't have room over here on Saturday and Sunday. You know? And for the purposes of continuity, if it'll focus, I think that gold paint is shiny. And it's hard to focus, so I'm going to go right underneath the day of the week. This is just a roller date stamp. So January the 13th. 14th. Oh, that's crooked. 15th. That's okay, though. The 16th. The 17th. This roller date stamp was suggested by Allie Edwards, by the way. 18th, but you can use any old date stamp that you want, or that you might already have on hand. I mean, it's just, or you could handwrite it, or use stickers, or as you like, however, you know, whatever works for you. But in any event, I think it is fun to change things up a little bit. It gives it a different look. So, and I definitely recommend putting the lid back on your ink because it will dry. Trust me, I know that. I've re-inked this before. Okay, and then last but not least, I have a few pencil marks that I just want to remove. So I'm gonna just use this quick electric razor. It works good on the Tomoe River paper too. Without making it pill or pull up or anything will rip. You can barely see it, but, you know, since I have it out, I'm just going to go ahead and utilize it. Okay, so I just keep that handy in my Michaels, I'll show you a little bit. My little Michaels organizer bins, the pen ones, see? Anyway, okay, let me bring you down. There is my final look. And this is my YouTube planner. I switched out from my Happy Planner Classic. And this year, this is what I'm doing for that. Because I just basically want more room to write things out every day. You know what I mean? Because it's not all post this, post that. I want to be able to brainstorm ideas. And I have this space, all this space here, that I can do it in, and I just needed that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so this is Monday the 13th with my hand lettering. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, the Dutch store idea originally is boho berries. I will link her channel below. And I saw this also on Mandy Lynn Plans, both here on YouTube. I will link them below like I have in my other two videos, because I like to give credit where credit is due. And so, I've done Dutch doors in my Happy Nietzsche, and that is super fun. So I dig Dutch doors. I just do. This Day Free does not have a weekly calendar like the Cousin does. Normally I use a Cousin, A5 Cousin Techo Hobonichi, and this year I'm using an original one. But the Day Frees, but in any event, you know, like, I'm just making do with what I have and trying some different things, and I'm having a ball doing it, as it were. So, I think this is cool, being able to see your whole week here. So, like I said, so if I'm using this for my YouTube, right? So, down here, but with the Posca, since I painted over the Japanese writing, because this will write over that, I can just jot down my tentative schedule. And then in the month section, I can actually have what I've really made, the videos that I've really made actually live, as it were. So I think that is a good use for that. And then here I can just use this for brainstorming and just different ideas and editing and whatever I need to do for YouTube. And then I put a section here that says this week. That does not interfere with this, as you can see. So this week, the most important things. And I really like the way my watercolor flowers turned out. So I did watch a tutorial, actually, on how to make a simple watercolor rose. So I learned how to do it. But I've never done that before, so that is something totally new and out of my comfort zone. But it's fun. And, like, for all of my watercoloring, I just do what I have in my mind's eye. I've never used a reference photo. I've never watched a video until today to see how to do a flower, you know. I just do what's in my mind's eye, but I think that's so much fun, so that's a step in the right direction. It didn't take me long, so I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I'm no expert, I just like to dabble and play in my things, and so I think it looks pretty. I hope you guys like it. What's you guys' experience with watercoloring? I'd really love to know. I know there are great artists out there, and I'm no Picasso. I've always said that, but I will just, not knowing anything, just jump right in and play with my things, and that's just how I am. But, you know, I do like to progress and learn the actual skills it takes to do watercoloring and do a drawing. Or what have you. So there's that. But in any event, I hope you guys like it. And if you do, I hope you do consider subscribing to my channel. And I wish all of you folks a very beautiful day. Thank you ever so kindly for watching. Peace out.